It's your boy Big Baby. Support sporting icons for latest boxing news. Cheeseburger.
The USA Takeover Part 2 for Matchroom and Eddie Hearn is now official that on April the 28th at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, Daniel Jacobs will headline against Maciej Sulecki, and the bill is going to be called Straight Outta Brooklyn. Also on the card you've got Gerald Big Baby Miller. He'll be going up against the Frenchman Johann Duhaupas, and Katie Taylor will be going up against Bustos. Now, Miller's fight with Duhaupas, that will be an eliminator for the WBA World Heavyweight title, and Katie Taylor against Bustos will be for Katie Taylor's WBA and Bustos' IBF World Lightweight title, so it's a unification fight. Now, Daniel Jacobs, this will be his first fight under the banner of Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and his opponent, Maciej Sulecki, is a Polish guy. He's the #1 super welterweight in Poland, so he predominantly fights at 154, but has of course dipped his toes into the 160, which is of course where Daniel Jacobs currently sits. At 160, Maciej Sulecki is ranked #6 by the WBO, who is of course the champion Billy Joe Saunders, and Daniel Jacobs is ranked #4. At 154, Maciej Sulecki is ranked #1 by the WBC for Jamel Charlo's WBC title. So this guy is pretty good by all accounts, and his record is 26 and he's undefeated. Out of his 26 wins, he's knocked out 10 of his opponents. Also, as I said, Big Baby Jarrell Miller, he's going to be going up against Johann Duhaupas, and this is an interesting fight for sure, because obviously Jarrell Miller, he's just come off of a big win against Marius Wack on the last Matchroom show, which was in America as well. And Johann Duhaupas, he's been around the block a couple of times, if you like. He's been in there with Deontay Wilder, did very, very well. He busted up Wilder pretty badly in that fight, and if you look at Wilder's face at the end of that fight, it's all swole up and everything, and Duhaupas really laced him up. Inevitably, Deontay Wilder did what he always does, finished him off. Now, this is a very, very good fight. Like I said, it's an eliminator for the WBA, which is Anthony Joshua's title. So, now officially, Alexander Povetkin is the WBA mandatory, so Jarrell Miller, by beating, or potentially beating, Johann Duhaupas, is going to move him way into the ranking and potentially make him #1 rank. Now, Katie Taylor, as I said, she's going to be defending her title, and a unification fight, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, Katie Taylor, she's had 8 fights, knocked out 4, and already a world champion, of course, and her opponent is Victoria Noelia Bustos, and this will be for the IBF and WBA World Female Lightweight title. Victoria Bustos has 18 wins and 4 losses, and she is from, I think it's Argentina. Yeah, Argentina. She's 29 years old, and she has lost back in the middle of 2016 by unanimous decision, but she's won 3 times since then, and of course picked up the IBF belt, and in her second defence be against Katie Taylor. And with Bustos, she's never been knocked out in her 4 losses, and out of her 18 wins, she's never knocked out anyone either. Nobody in the 18 fights. So you would fully expect Katie Taylor to potentially knock her out, or lose on points, who knows. But also on this card, you've got a couple of decent names. You've got Arthur Spilka. Arthur Spilka is coming off of a loss against babyface Adam Kownacki, which was a local Polish fight, if you like, even though Kownacki is a resident of America. And you've also got a guy called Shojan Ergshev. Don't know who he is. I've never heard of him. I'm presuming some kind of Russian. But either way, Arthur Spilka being on the card is pretty decent. So that's another heavyweight on this card. So Eddie Hearn is showing America exactly how you do it. He's showing Top Rank. He's showing PBC. the kind of cards that people are interested in. Already this card is a bit better than the March 3rd card for Wilder vs Ortiz as far as the undercard goes. Now, the undercard for that one, I'm not going to really get into it too much on this one, of course, but the guy that Jamal Charlo is going to be fighting next actually lost to Daniel Jacobs' opponent, and that's Santana Jr. He lost to this Majek. So, very interesting, I suppose, but either way, this is a pretty decent card. Second event for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and I said April the 28th over the Barclays Center in New York. So the headline is pretty decent. Like I said, Zulecki, he's ranked number 1 by the WBC in 154 and ranked number 6 by the WBA at 160. So he's a floater, if you like, between 154 and 160. Daniel Jacobs, obviously, he's had 2 losses. He's on the comeback since he's lost to Triple G. Many people believe that he beat Triple G, and Triple G is his target. But of course, he's fighting guys in the WBO, so maybe he's looking to try and get hold of Billy Joe Saunders. Jarrell Miller, obviously, good luck to him. For me, that's a very tough fight for him, Duhaupas. Duhaupas is not an A-level fighter, if you like. He's probably like more B-level. So I'll probably predict that Jarrell Miller is going to stop Duhaupas. But Duhaupas is pretty decent. He did do very well against Wilder, but ultimately got blitzed by Povetkin. So, again, very decent fight. And we'll see exactly where Jarrell Miller is. And, of course, the unification for Katie Taylor and her 9th pro fight. Unification already shows exactly where she is. So good luck to everybody on that card. My prediction is going to be a Daniel Jacobs win in a very, very hard fight. It's going to be very hard. But I do predict that Daniel Jacobs may actually win this one. Maybe by a late stoppage or on points. Jarrell Miller, I expect him to stop Duhaupas. If not, at least dominate him. And of course, I expect Katie Taylor to become a unified champion. So drop your thoughts below as to what you think about the second event for Matchroom in USA, in the USA Takeover. Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.